This is the Joe Corona Show. I am Joe Corona, your host, and you will not believe what I'm about to report here today, live from Jerusalem. There is a breakthrough in the negotiations over a national unity government, an emergency government that is going to defeat the virus. Not the coronavirus, ladies and gentlemen, but the virus that infected the Supreme Court of the State of Israel, called the rule of law virus. Well, it seems that Mr. Netanyahu is concerned that the Supreme Court will rule that he cannot be a candidate or a prime minister while he is under indictment, and wanted to change the constitution. But Benny Gantz refused. He is a man of his word. So there was an impasse until a lawyer came up with a creative idea. It seems that on July 24th, 2021, the term of President Rivlin in office will expire, and we will need to have a new president. Well, here goes the suggestion. If by then the Supreme Court will prevent Mr. Netanyahu from taking office or continuing to be in office and will have to stand trial, then the coalition parties will vote as a bloc for the first time ever to appoint a female president to the State of Israel, Mrs. Sarah Ben-Artzi Netanyahu. Yes, people close to the negotiation tell me this is a win-win for the country and for the Netanyahus. For the country, we will have not only a female president, but someone who is attuned to the people's needs, someone who puts the State of Israel above everything, all personal consideration aside, and above all, a psychologist that understands the feelings of the people and will be able to support them at the time of a crisis. And from a personal point of view, in the event that Mr. Netanyahu will have to stand trial, President Netanyahu will use her presidential power to pardon her husband. There was a little snag, however. Someone brought up the possibility that that power will be challenged because of conflict of interest. And therefore, there was an immediate suggestion that the couple will divorce prior to the pardon. That did not go well at all with Mrs. Netanyahu for obvious reasons. Guess who came to the rescue? Benny Gantz, who said, under my ideology of Israel above everything, and in a spirit of a rotation, I will then marry Mrs. Netanyahu. Mrs. Netanyahu accepted the idea not only because of Mr. Gantz's good looks, but also she will now be able to have two residences, the presidential palace and the Balfour compound, and she will commute between the two. It was Orly Levy Abukhsis who made a very, very legitimate point that will create traffic jams, and we should think about the little people. And so a proposition was raised, and it's now under committee consideration to make available to Mrs. Netanyahu, President Netanyahu, a presidential helicopter. It's going to be called the Zion Blades. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally going to have a government of the Netanyahus, by the Netanyahus, for the Netanyahus, and there will be no more viruses, and Israel will live in peace and in glory forever after. And so therefore I say, you know exactly who you should fuck on this very, very important historical day.